Ben, tell us about the time you wrestled the deer.
Well, I tell you what, I'm too old and damn fat to do it now. But I had me a long dry spell and I hadn't killed one for a while. My dumb butt goes to the wood, loads my gun up with 5 bullets. No more. Don't take my knife with me. I said, now I would like to get me one. About that time, here come a long cow horn spike. It stopped right there and I shot it, hit the ground. I said, yeah, I got me one now. I was all tickled.
What was it again?
A cow horn spike. Well, say cow horn, long spikes about like that kind of curved. I always called us redneck, call them cow horn spike. And I was tickled, you know. I said, I'm going to sit up here for a minute. Something else might come on up. All of a sudden, that sucker jumped up and tried running. And my ugly, blind butt trying to hit him running between the trees. And I unload on him, and that last shot, he falls. So I said, well, I finally got him now. Didn't have no more bullets. So I'm going to come on down and check him out. I come down, laid my gun up against a bush or a log. I forgot which one. We're walking toward him at an angle. The son of a gun jumped up and tried to take off running. He was staggering, but running about fast. A pretty fast human could run. I had me a good angle on him. I remember when they said back in football in high school, when you hit lock arm, I took off running wide open, laid my right shoulder into him. When I hit, I did lock arm. Man, we hit the ground. Damn feet going every which way. And oh my God, he was doing that bleat. Whack! You could hear it echoing all over the wood, all over the swamps. And I said, oh God, what am I gonna do? And I got it down on the ground, had a spike in one hand and the hind quarter in the other sitting on him. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and he tried to throw me for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then he'd tire himself out, and I'd be wore out, and he'd wear out, and then he'd start off again. He stood halfway up with me several times. I snatched at the hind quarter, we'd hit the ground again, feet going every which way. You know, I could have got killed doing that, so don't try this at home. But anyway, that sucker, we both wore out, and several times his hooves got loose and almost hit me in the head, and they did kick me in the leg several times. The camouflage suit was tore all up, had bruises all over my leg. But I tried to wrestle and hold on him. I've been watching too much wrestling, I guess. I grabbed him by and tried to put a choke hold on him and everything else. Still didn't know what I was going to do. One time I was sitting on him, he done about wore me out. I wore him out. By the time he turned his head and looked at me and his eyes got real big, I guess he ain't never seen so much ugly in his life. And then he started raving, came trying to get up again. And I got him on the hind quarter and snatched. We hit the ground scrambling again. We got I'd say about a 20 by 20 place tore up. And I just tore the wood up. I didn't know what I was going to do. My buddy said later, he'd come by there and said, didn't you hear me blowing the horn? I said, I thought so. Didn't you hear me holler? And finally, after 2 hours and 45 minutes, I was wore out. He tried to throw me again, and he finally wore out, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but something just hit me. I said, I got off of him and snatched his hind leg and pulled him over to a tree. A tree would be about that big around. Got my belt around his neck and hooked it behind the tree. When I did, that sucker looked like a riding bronco bull at what you call it, a rodeo. That sucker tried to throw me and stood halfway up with me, but that belt was tightening up on his neck. And after a few minutes of that, it choked him. I done choked him with my belt. I had plenty of pictures drawn about it. I come up staggering, didn't have too much blood on me because all I did was graze him in the neck. I didn't hit him twice, even though he failed that last shot. Yeah. And I had a little bit of deer blood, deer hair all over me, mud and leaves. My buddy laughing. I staggered like I've been drinking all night long. He said, if I'd have known that, I'd have brought my video camera down there and videos. I come out with the damn deer, though.